It all started on a cool October evening when my family and I decided to go all out for Halloween. We'd just moved into Maplewood Estates, a quiet, HOA-governed suburban neighborhood known for its neat lawns and strict rules. This was our first Halloween there, and we wanted to make it special. I'd spent weeks collecting decorations, fog machines, motion sensor skeletons, glowing pumpkins, and a massive 12-foot animatronic Grim Reaper that loomed over our front yard. My kids, Emma and Tyler, couldn't stop talking about how amazing it looked at night. The neighbors had complimented us all week. Even old Mr. Davies from down the street said it was the best display Maplewood had ever seen. But not everyone shared the enthusiasm. Her name was Karen Mitchell, the president of the Maplewood Estates Homeowners Association. A tall woman with a permanently pursed expression. She had made it her mission to enforce every HOA rule with military precision. The day after we put up our decorations, she showed up on our doorstep holding a clipboard like it was a sword. "These decorations," she said, her voice dripping with disapproval, "are not in compliance with community aesthetic guidelines." I blinked. "They're Halloween decorations, Karen. Everyone's got something up. Everyone else," she sniffed, "has tasteful decor. You, on the other hand, have created a haunted carnival." I tried to reason with her, but she wouldn't hear it. She gave us a courtesy notice and said if we didn't remove the display within 3 days, the HOA would take action. Naturally, we ignored her. Halloween was less than a week away, and the kids were ecstatic every time the Reaper's motion sensor made it groan to life. We even had people drive by to take pictures. For a moment, it felt like our little display brought the neighborhood some fun. But Karen wasn't finished. On October 29th, something strange happened. When I woke up early for work, I noticed one of the glowing pumpkins was gone. I assumed it had been knocked over or maybe stolen by teenagers. Then, that evening, 2 skeletons vanished. My wife suggested it might be the wind. But deep down, I knew better. The next morning, I decided to check the doorbell camera footage just to be sure. What I saw made my jaw drop. There, at 2:37 a.m., wearing a reflective vest and holding a trash bag, was Karen, dragging my decorations across the lawn. And she wasn't even trying to hide. I replayed the footage 3 times before it sank in. Karen, the HOA president, was stealing our Halloween decorations right off our lawn in the middle of the night. She looked absurd, dressed like a budget Ghostbuster, dragging pumpkins, skeletons, and fake tombstones into the shadows. I woke my wife, Samantha, and showed her the video. She gasped. "You have got to be kidding me." "Nope," I said. "Caught in 4K. By morning, I'd posted the video to our neighborhood Facebook group with the caption, "When the HOA president enforces aesthetic standards at 2 a.m. It went viral overnight. Comments flooded in. "Unbelievable." One neighbor wrote. "She did the same thing to our Christmas wreath last year," said another. Someone even made a meme of her dragging my decorations under the caption, "Karen's haunted heist." By noon, Karen showed up at my door, fuming. She had probably seen the post. Her face was as red as her sweater. "Take that video down immediately," she barked. "That footage was taken without my consent." I folded my arms. "You were on my property, stealing my stuff. I think that makes it fair game." "You're violating HOA confidentiality," she snapped, clutching her clipboard like a shield. "You've humiliated me publicly. Then maybe stop sneaking into people's yards," I shot back. Her eyes narrowed. "You'll regret this. I'm reporting you for harassment." That's when Samantha stepped in. "Karen, you're the one committing theft. We could call the police right now." Karen turned pale, muttered something about community integrity, and stormed off. Within hours, the entire neighborhood was buzzing. Neighbors stopped by, laughing and shaking their heads. Even Mr. Davies chuckled, saying, "Guess the Grim Reaper scared her for real." But the situation escalated when, later that night, I got an email from the HOA board. It read, "Due to a violation of community social media policy, a complaint has been filed against you. You are required to remove all online content involving HOA members within 24 hours. Karen was doubling down. That's when I realized this wasn't over. I decided to keep the video up. And I had no idea what kind of Halloween storm that decision was about to unleash. By the next morning, my inbox was flooded. The HOA had sent 3 more emails, each one sterner than the last. They claimed my post damaged community harmony and defamed an HOA representative. Meanwhile, Karen was going door to door, spinning her own version of the story, saying she was removing non-compliant items per Regulation 14B. Except, everyone had seen the video. The comments section was now a battlefield. Half the neighborhood was defending us. The other half, mostly Karen's inner circle, claimed the footage was edited and taken out of context. Someone even accused me of cyberbullying. That evening, the HOA board announced an emergency meeting to discuss the incident. It was to be held on October 31st, Halloween night. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Samantha wanted to let it go, but I couldn't. Karen had crossed a line. She'd trespassed, stolen, and then tried to flip the narrative. I decided to prepare my case. I printed screenshots from the video, timestamps, and even the HOA's own bylaws showing nothing prohibited seasonal decorations. The night of the meeting, the clubhouse was packed. Dozens of residents showed up, buzzing with gossip. Karen sat at the head of the table, posture stiff, expression sour. "Let's begin," she said coldly. "We are here to address a serious breach of conduct, specifically the distribution of misleading video footage targeting an HOA official." I raised my hand. "You mean the footage of you stealing my decorations?" Gasps rippled through the room. Karen's jaw clenched. "Those items were removed because they violated aesthetic." I interrupted, pulling out a printed copy of the HOA rules. "Show me where it says 12-foot skeletons aren't allowed." She flipped through her binder, lips tight. "They don't fit the neighborhood character." The crowd murmured. Someone whispered, "She's just making stuff up." Then I placed a still image from the video on the table, Karen mid-swipe, dragging my pumpkin away. "Is this your definition of enforcement?" For the first time, she looked rattled. The room erupted with laughter, some clapping. The board chair, clearly uncomfortable, leaned in and said, "Perhaps we should adjourn and review this further." Karen glared at me like she wanted to vaporize me with her eyes. "This isn't over," she hissed as she stormed out. But to me, it felt like it was just getting started. Halloween night arrived, and despite Karen's tantrums, our decorations were back up, every last one. The Grim Reaper stood tall, pumpkins glowed. And a new addition, a motion-activated witch, cackled by the porch. Neighbors began trickling in with their kids. Many stopped by to take pictures, congratulating us for standing up to the HOA tyranny. Even families who hadn't decorated came to show support. But as the sun dipped and the moon rose, I had a gut feeling Karen wouldn't let the night pass quietly. Sure enough, around 9 p.m., as the streets filled with laughter and candy wrappers, our doorbell chimed. The camera feed popped up on my phone. There she was again, Karen, marching toward our porch holding a stack of papers. "Unbelievable," I muttered. I stepped outside, camera recording. "Evening, Karen. Here for some candy." She scowled. "You are in violation of multiple HOA regulations. These are official fines for insubordination and property defacement." "Property defacement?" I asked. "You mean decorating my yard?" She thrust the papers at me. "You are mocking community standards and undermining my authority." Before I could respond, a group of neighbors, dressed as vampires and pirates, gathered around. Someone whispered, "It's her again." Phones came out. Cameras rolled. Karen's composure cracked. "Stop recording me. This is harassment." I gestured to the crowd. "You're on private property, again, at night, during Halloween." You're the one trespassing. The Grim Reaper behind me groaned to life, its mechanical arm swinging slowly toward her. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. Karen shrieked, stumbled backward, and fell into a pile of fake tombstones. The crowd burst into laughter. She scrambled up, red-faced, and stormed off down the sidewalk, chased by cackling children and a few well-placed candy wrappers. By the next morning, the video, titled HOA Karen vs. the Grim Reaper, had 1 million views. News outlets picked it up. Even local TV ran the story. Under pressure, the HOA board issued a statement, distancing themselves from Karen's unapproved conduct. She was removed as president the following week. As for us, our Halloween display became legendary. Every year since, neighbors stop by to see if we'll top it. And sometimes, late at night, when the motion sensor trips and the Reaper groans, I can almost hear Karen's voice echoing through the cul-de-sac. This is a violation. Happy Halloween, Maplewood Estates.